A gracious evening to you all televiewers. Thank you for joining us on Friday's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime Television. I am Eileen. 338,000 new voters enrolled on the 2022 electoral register, among whom 305 are persons living with disabilities, representing 0.09%. The information was revealed by the Director General of Election, Eric Esose, during an evaluation process in Douala after the list closed on August 31, 2022. Von Quinta with details.
The annual revision process of electoral registers at Election Cameroon has ended with an appraisal of the enrollment process on the electoral register for the year 2022 in accordance with Section 74 of the Electoral Code. While on an evaluation on September 1, 2022 in Douala, Cameroon, the Director General of Election, Eric Esose, expressed satisfaction on the number of new enrollments so far.
At the end of this operation, we enrolled 338,370 electors, among which are 211,457 men, 62%, 126,919 women, 38%, 246,669 youth, 73%, 305 persons with disabilities, 0.09%.
This year, 2022, special dispositions were put in place by ELECAM to ensure citizens, especially youth, had themselves registered.
As with the electoral law, the revision of electoral registers is carried out every year from the 1st of January to the 31st of August. Emphasis was placed this year on the enrollment of youth citizens, which explains why enrollment operations were launched in the University of Yaoundé 1 and 2. In general, the 2022 revision was conducted under good conditions.
ELECAM officials also involved political parties, administrators and other stakeholders in the sensitization process. The electoral list has been closed, which implies that citizens of voting age who meet the registration requirements will have to wait till January 1, 2023 to have themselves enlisted.
Pekka Foods' newly recruited kit supplier Noel Sport has dropped the first set of sport wares for coaches and the technical team, while leaving Cameroonians with much enthusiasm to find out what the indomitable Lions will be wearing during the World Cup in Qatar 2022 come November. Details right ahead.
After signing a kit deal with Noel Sports to produce the team's official kits for the 2022 World Cup, as well as the 3-year contract with Cameroon to supply sports gadgets for Pekka Foods, Noel Sport has produced the first set of jerseys for the coaches of the national team of Cameroon. These first set of sportswear released on the 1st of September 2022 are also available for the general public in white and black colors, bearing the logo of the Cameroon Football Federation, Pekka Foods, and the colors of the national flag of Cameroon, green, red, yellow, as well as the logo of the kit supplier Noel Sport. However, Cameroonians continue to wait with excitement to discover the new jerseys that will be produced for the indomitable Lions of Cameroon ahead of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar that kicks off on November 20th. According to Noel Sports, these sports gadgets can be gotten online at prices ranging from 19,700 francs CFA to 42,750 francs CFA.
Government authorities in charge of the procurement of national identity cards in Yaoundé, Cameroon's capital city, have disposed of a huge number of ID cards on the streets of Mélène. This comes at a time when the process of obtaining an ID card is quite tiring and time-consuming. Nicole Tako has more.
A large number of national identification cards have been found around the Carrefour Emia and Total Melaine neighborhood in the nation's capital city, Yaoundé. According to sources, the cards were found in a bag dumped under a tree to be disposed, with each being at least a year or two to expiring date. Also, the ID cards that were displaced were new and still very much valid. In the meantime, some persons are said to have rushed to the area to see if they can identify and pick up theirs. Nonetheless, it is still unknown how they got there and why they were disposed in such manner. Note that getting a national identification card remains an uphill task in Cameroon. Many have had to go for years without one, as the process remains tiring, expensive, and time-consuming.
Let's now talk education. Back to school preparations have reached fever pitch in Douala, economic capital city of Cameroon, 2 days to the D-Day. Cynthia Azanyu spoke with some parents and students in Douala who disclosed how prepared they are for rentrée scolaire. Her report.
Few days to the start of the academic year, parents are setting the pace for their children to enroll into the next level. Meanwhile, others say they have not been able to meet up with preparations for the children this academic year, 2022-2023.
So, let's say before this hour, I've already prepared and they have their schools. As for now, none of them are prepared for any school. Even they are going to what school, I have no idea, because right now they have not paid me. In my job side, they have not paid me. In outside that I'm struggling, I have had nothing. So right now, I'm really struggling. I'm feeling hard. So I don't know either the school will begin, then I will just go and meet the teachers. And if the teacher will accept them without registering, I don't know.
It's not been easy because the difficulties everywhere, crisis, there's no money. Even if you want to ask money from your husband that they should give money for you to buy the children books, you will complain that work is not going, there's no money. In fact, we are really facing difficulty. There's no money to buy books, and the books are really expensive. They're really expensive. Even the school uniform, you go to the market to ask materials, there's something else. So it makes us up to now like this, we have not even prepared for the children. We don't know if it's on that Monday that we are going to even look for the school of the child. So we are really facing difficulties.
Some students, on their part, are set for the school year in a bid to commence the academic year successfully.
So I am really happy this academic year. Although things are very tough, but my parents struggle and they bought everything for me this academic.
However, some express their worries as they are not sure of starting the academic year on time.
Just today like this, I don't even know what to do. School is resuming just on Monday. While suffering, I asked my father that, Daddy, you know, go and get this establisher, we'll start going to school. He said there's no money, that things are very hard. We don't even know if we'll really start school on Monday because things are very strong. Even pencil, even my uniform, they have not even buy me anything. Even I used to even gym if I would really start that school on Monday because things are really strong.
Others on their part have encouraged their peers to work hard this school year.
Encouraging them that these hard times, they need to take their study very serious, and when they go to school, they need to concentrate in their books for them to make a better life for their parents tomorrow, and education is the key of success.
It should be noted that this academic year 2022-2023, which will begin on the 5th of September, comes at a time when teachers have been threatening to go on strike action while the government is seeking possible solutions to their problem.
Cynthia Zanyu reporting there. Some internally displaced children in Bonaberry have received school items from Compassion Peace Initiative Coalition COPIC. The donation ceremony that took place recently saw the non-government organization COPIC, which has as one of its aim to reach out to the underprivileged, equally offered school fees to some widows who lost their husbands due to the ongoing Anglophone crisis. Colette Loom has more.
These boosters paved through the benevolent moves stretched to some eternally displaced kids as they received didactic materials in the Bonaberry neighborhood. offered to them by Compassion Peace Initiative Coalition, Kopik Douala, extending its values of love, integrity, and service to humanity. With a heart full of gratitude, these talented young Cameroonians deprived by the ongoing Anglophone crisis as they take refuge in the littoral region, craving for survival, could smile this day as they chanted songs of praise to God for remembering them true things via this goodwill organization, Kopik.
I'm happy because my books, I was not having books, but if I've given us books, my promise is that I'll pass my exam and I'll call people and tell people that I have the results.
Each and every one of Cameroon's future engineers, doctors, and what have you saw the day of light as they all smiled their way through while receiving these school gifts, coming at a time when the entire nation is battling with persistent price hikes, obstructing most persons who are not even IDPs from properly preparing their kids for back to school.
Wow. So we have triplets going back to school happily. Smile.
A move worth gratitude.
It's not having a gift, but now I have a gift. I will make sure that I pass my exam.
Thank Kopik because I am happy that Kopik have given us something. Books to go to schools. I am happy because I was not having books. That's why I want to thank Kopik.
Sister Claudia also is one of the IDPs. Her husband was also killed. So I want to give you this token that you should go and register for the children back to school.
Widows as well benefited from Kopik's generosity, as some of them who lost their husbands due to the ongoing crisis in the restive regions of the country were graced with school fees to get their kids registered. As the motto of Kopik goes,
we are here at Bonaberi Douala because we want to give books and schools accessory to the IDPs that they have come and they are living in Bonaberi Douala, so many of them. The result of a war, and that the aftermath of it is that we have so many people who are stranded, young people drop out of school, and so Kopik find it very interesting that with their motto, which is to educate, nurture, and empower, that we should be able to empower these people to be able to go back to school safely in September 2022-2023 academic school year.
A good example to emulate.
Today we are here to share some gifts to IDPs that are here in Bonaberi, that they should go back to school. And we are very happy that they came in their numbers, and we are calling upon the public that we should impact lives. We that we are privileged to have something. Nothing is too small. In your own little area, you can copy this example. Help the needy that are around you so that they can also go back to school.
Educating one child, you educate a nation. Therefore, reaching out to educate many, as in this case, is laudable enough.
Thank you.
Onto something else. In its mission of cleaning the communication sector, the National Communication Council is embarking on field trips within the framework of professional talks, dubbed NCC Office Talks. Over 50 media professionals in Cameroon were today, September 2, 2022, drilled on the responsibility of presenters in the conduct of audiovisual debates. Lasha Kingsley was a part of that and now reports.
The NCC Coffee Talks, according to the President, are intended to strengthen the capacities of media professionals through an analysis of the current practice of moderating debate and interactive audiovisual programs in order to promote good practices in the preparation and management of these programs.
One, the unpreparedness of those who are moderating, the lack of knowledge around the subject which they have put on the table for debate or to moderate. You can also have political pressure. You can also have financial pressure from people who might pay to be part of the panel, or imposed guests, which sometimes the moderator might not master. And so with that, we want to call on the professionals to remain professional in all what they are doing, because there are some things which don't depend on them. Others depend on them. Those that depend on them should be done properly and professionally.
According to the NCC boss, sometimes journalists don't get the required experts to discuss issues that have to do with specific aspects. They tend to invite politicians to give opinions where they need but experts.
Sometimes journalists don't get the experts to discuss issues which have to do with a specific aspect. They instead invite politicians to give opinions where they need experts to explain to Cameroonians issues that are put on the table for debate. And so we have noticed, particularly with the audiovisual media landscape, that there's a lot of unpreparedness on the part of most of our younger colleagues who are moderating debate. It's not all, and it's not every day, but most often you find that those who are invited sometimes go overboard in the pronunciations which they make. Sometimes you have quarreling on the set, and sometimes the moderators themselves don't call their guests to order if they say something which is not correct. And so we think that it's something we just want to revive, this professional consciousness in our colleagues, to make them understand that when they are moderating debate, they must be and they should be masters of the set.
One of the facilitators of the NCC Coffee Talks, senior journalist Tewi Lambith, underscores the role of the moderator, choice of participants, and the expectation of the public during a debate.
The choice of participants in the debate, the role of the moderator, the expectations of the public that should be taken into consideration and responded to in a professional manner. And more importantly, the fact that journalists and professionals who are called upon to work in the area of debate must learn to match with the changing socio-professional, economic, and above all, technological times, taking into consideration the multimedia context within which journalists and moderators of debate programs operate, in the sense that they must know that debates are not only on set in the studio, but that debates can start before, in the studio, that is on set, and even after. And it is the journalist's professional responsibility to be active along all these paths.
The first edition of the talks, which started this Friday in Douala, focuses on the responsibility of presenters in the conduct of audiovisual debates and will target 3 cities, notably Douala, Bafoussam, and Yaoundé.
You're welcome back. Consumers of products from the Cameroon Company of Metallic Transformation are facing difficulties getting cooking gas in Boya Chief Town of the Southwest region. This has left many hanging while wishing or waiting for the next truck into town. Emmanuel C. completes that story.
Liquefied petroleum gas is commonly used around here in many households in Boya. This has led to many forgetting the traditional way of cooking, using the fireplace, charcoal, electric cookers, and sometimes sawdust. This gas comes in different names and colors, but consumers of the Cameroon Company of Metallic Transformation, SCTM, are worried because the gas has become too scarce in the market. Consumers of this brand will have to wait here early on specific days of the week to purchase gas. This did not go well today, as retailers, as well as those buying for the household, are stranded because gas is finished.
Hold on and see. You can look behind a lot of bottle of gas, empty bottle of gas because of the scarcity of gas in town. So I think that's the reason why you can see a lot of people here to buy their own and go and sell. Why not those who have to go and use in their own various homes?
A struggle not for the weak. Some succeeded in getting some few bottles for themselves, but others didn't.
You don't know me what's the apple for country. Whatever that point where they say the bottles in around, I don't make out get gas again, so they don't tire we. 6 morning, I can't hear. I want to come for 10 o'clock. I don't leave. I meet up population. People flock to the day. They tell me now say gas don't finish. Would already be like 2 weeks. Gas will never cook gas. So I don't know me.
The scarcity of the SCTM gas, many say, will force the local population, Yen Boya, to resort back to traditional form of cooking if nothing is done.
On our health page, we talk ovarian cancer, highlighting the risk factors, symptoms and prevalence, as well as methods of management. Remember that September is the month set aside to raise awareness regarding the female reproductive health hazard, taking the lives of more than 200,000 and affecting more. Bukengo Worthy has more.
Ovarian cancer is the growth of abnormal cells that forms in the ovaries, affecting eggs needed for fertilization. Residing in the fallopian tubes, ovarian cancer is the 8th most common type of cancers in women and the 5th leading cause of cancer-related deaths worldwide. Around the world, an estimated 314,000 new ovarian cancer cases are diagnosed yearly. And according to Global Cancer 2020 projection, this number will rise to 42% by 2040, bearing risk factors such as infertility, obesity, family history, age, being female, menopause, tobacco smoking, history of colon and breast cancer. Experts say 1 in 78 women will suffer from ovarian cancer in their lifetime. Worth noting is the fact that ovarian cancer has 4 stages, with signs and symptoms ranging from mild to severe, depending on the stage, and in some cases, the disease portrays no sign or symptom till it is on the last stage. Data from the World Health Organization states nearly 70% of women are diagnosed in the advanced stages of ovarian cancer, which has a very low survival rate. Nonetheless, some common signs and symptoms to not ignore include bloating, pelvic or abdominal pain, frequent urination, vaginal discharge, irregular menstrual flow, loss of appetite, indigestion, fatigue, unexplained weight gain or loss, and many more. Aiming to end ovarian cancer and to improve the lives of women carrying the burden of this disease, including the lives of their families and loved ones, every month of September, health specialists advise that women should cut down on alcohol, limit sugar intake, eat more fruits and vegetables, maintain healthy weight, get vaccinated, go for regular checkup at the hospital so as to help battle the global health concern regarding ovarian cancer, as well as reveals the estimated 207,000 deaths borne by ovarian cancer yearly.
On our feature page, we talk the social media now. Social media involvement is becoming more evident as days pass by, with almost half of the world's population actively engaged in social media activities. As social media platforms battle over ideas in an effort to win users' engagement, makes the creation of new applications inevitable. Gloria Tiashi, a student journalist, has more in this report.
Today's world is a social media soaked world, with almost every age group constantly engaged in social media activities. From a research carried out by Global Web Index, statistics show 59% of the world's population are active users of different media platforms in 2022. However, the constant change in the digital landscape has made it possible for the creation of new applications. One of which is TikTok application, which has been making wave in just its 3rd year since creation. This video sharing app has become a cultural phenomenon, with over 42% of users falling between the age of 18 to 24, as stated by the TikTok Google page. Like any other social media application, TikTok has its advantages and disadvantages. A vibrant TikTok user, Lambi Orentia, recounts her experience.
Learn new things. Like, for example, I love TikTok because when I go there, I create content. I make funny sketches, imitate people's videos which are funny and attract views. And it is also very educative because there are some people who have this passion of them of being skit maker and making funny videos for them to have blogs. When they go there, they see others' videos, they learn so many things from, like, I for once, I learned some few sketches and some funny things from it. And also there are some platforms there that there are some accounts there that people create to just share news and entertain people. So I usually follow those people because I also want to be informed and get.
While other people see TikTok as a stress reliever, business people are making the most profit out of it. Miss Clofab, CEO of Clofab Designs, is one of those people who do not only see TikTok as an entertaining application, a lucrative platform where she can showcase her works by uploading videos on her TikTok official account.
As a businesswoman, TikTok is important to me because it does my publicity. For example, I do get more of my customers abroad through TikTok. And when I post on TikTok, even around, people do come. I don't do only sewing, I also do crochet, and I also give classes during holidays, free classes during holidays for kids. You know, during holidays, children are less busy, they don't do anything, they are home, bored, and they go on internet for every sort of things. So I give free classes. No. I really do not advise my kids to go on TikTok, because most customers that even come here is just by luck, because most of them don't like going on TikTok because of what children do post on TikTok. So that's why I'm just lucky to have few of them on TikTok. If we would have promoted TikTok to do something like business on it, or learning, or there's so many things we can do.
Generally, social media has both gains and losses, though it all depends on the user's end. If the usage of social media is not controlled, it can lead to unpleasant outcome. The society, especially youth, must create stability between their academic fulfillment, social lifestyle, and social media involvement.
Coming back to these education news, clandestine schools in the west region of Cameroon are going down as the regional boss, our Fonka Augustine, and stakeholders announced the closure of these schools in the days ahead. Get details in the following report with Lingonde.
Days ahead, a special mission will be deployed in the west region of Cameroon to close down clandestine schools. This is an announcement that was made by the governor for the west region, who also recommends that parents avoid these educational structures not approved by the government. In the same vein, Augustine Awafonka decries absenteeism, lateness, the abandonment of posts, and overcrowdedness of classrooms in most urban areas. Facts he has observed in the past years. With regards to the challenges, the governor of the West region has also called on the educational community to fight energetically and without compromise against drugs and narcotic products that predispose young people to intolerance, violence, and terrorism, while remobilizing the youth around the notions of peaceful cohabitation, love for one another and the nation, and also ensure that school identity cards are issued from the start of the school year to all students without exception.
De les demander de plus d'adhérer au travail, plus de vigilance et de mettre un accent sur l'hygiène et la salubrité.
Meanwhile, recommendations which will be implemented have been reassured to the Westerners by the regional delegate for the Ministry of Secondary Education.
Objectif cette année, d'améliorer les résultats dans la région de l'Ouest et de propulser la région de l'Ouest au premier rang.
In a context where the teacher is threatening to go on strike, Dr. Ngamia Francois declares that the West region has made arrangements for a smooth back to school come next Monday.
Les enseignants sont assez conscients. Ils ne sont pas prêts à suivre le mot d'ordre de grève lancé par certains syndicats.
According to statistics, the West region has registered 12,960 internally displaced persons out of a workforce of 319,118 students, and the region registered 126,592 admitted for a success rate of 62.23% against 64.6% as of last year.
In news out of Cameroon, African nations must address or develop strategies to address climate change, which poses an existential threat to the continent's mega cities. Gabon's President Ali Bongo Ondimba made this declaration at the 3rd African Climate Week conference. Get details on these and other stories making headlines today on the African continent with Catherine Kongwe.
Gabon's President Ali Bongo Ondimba has urged African officials and experts to sharpen the positions they will present at the 27th Annual United Nations Climate Conference to be held in Egypt. The 3rd African Climate Meeting is bringing together more than 1,000 government officials and stakeholders in Gabon's capital city, Libreville. They are working to form strong African regional climate response. The African Climate Week comes as the continent reels from several extreme weather events such as drought in East Africa and the Horns of Africa, sandstorms and extreme heat in West Africa's Sahel region, and destructive flash floods, storm surges, including cyclones in central, western and southern Africa. Also, a migrant center on the Italian island of Lampedusa has become further overcrowded as the number of migrants arriving from North Africa has increased. The center was built for around 350 people, but is now hosting around 1,400 migrants, with most migrants coming from Tunisia and Libya. On Monday, more than 700 migrants arrived the island. According to the Italian Ministry of Interior, 57,000 people have reached Italy by crossing the central Mediterranean Sea so far in 2022. Over the same period, 1,283 people either died or went missing in an attempt to cross the sea, according to the International Organization for Migration. On Wednesday, a non-governmental organization operated ship sailing in the Mediterranean reported having rescued 466 migrants over a period of 2 days at the end of August. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden will meet with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa this month. The White House visit was announced on Thursday as the administration looks to draw African nations closer to US at a time when South Africa and many of its neighbors have staked out neutral grounds on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The announcement of the September 16 visit comes on the heels of US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to South Africa last month, in which he said the Biden administration sees Africa's 54 nations as equal partners in tackling global problems. But the administration has been disappointed that South Africa and many of the continents have declined to follow the US in condemning the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
That's the package we had for you today on Prime News. Many thanks for your keen and kind attention, televiewers. The news was produced by Akeba, Desmond. I have been Eileen Sama for presentation, while Fake Tata compiled and coordinated the news. Thanks for staying with us throughout the week, but do stay tuned to amazing programs coming up on my Media Prime Television, The African Eye. Blessed weekend. Bye for now.